What's up, guys? Hey, we are live. What's going on? We got 4 people in the house. DD, Coach, why you so hard on John for angles? You trying to break him? that was actually quite a while ago. So that's been a while. What can I say? I've been hard on John for holding cameras in the past. It's not easy to be a cameraman. I'm hard on him mostly because I love John and John's a good friend of mine, and I guess because he's a friend and I can beat the shit out of him with words. I treat him like that. Maybe I shouldn't, but I've softened a little bit as I've gone on. In the beginning, I was always very frustrated because I wanted the videos to look so good. I wanted the right angles, and sometimes John falls asleep because John falls asleep, and he's gonna have to take a verbal lashing. So anyway, what's going on, guys? What's up, Frank? Hope you're doing well. Didn't see you in class tonight, Frank. But why so late? Well, guys, this is usually when I'll do a live UHA aid. Jackaroo MMA, what's up, man? Alberto Gayton, what's up? Jackaroo, any tips for wrestlers who are explosive but gas out easily? Yeah, stop using all your muscles, Jackaroo. So don't, if you're a wrestler, you're very explosive. I know that that's one of your assets, but you do have to learn how to relax. You don't have to use all your strength all the time. You need to save that explosive power for when you need it. So you're probably just using it too much. So the tip is you got to be like Buvazar Satyev, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Russian wrestler, and you got to be relaxed. Use your energy when you need it. So would you be willing to be a personal grappling coach for an up-and-coming MMA fighter? Yes, I would be willing. It's something that I was just talking about tonight with a couple of my guys that want to fight. We've got a young guy coming up who's 23 years old, and he wants to start his MMA career. We're obviously in California, so we're not able to. The fights aren't being hosted in California, so we're gonna have to look outside. So if any of you guys know about MMA shows like for amateurs outside of California, if you know of events, hit me up. Let me know. I'd like to take maybe 1 or 2 of my fighters and get them out there, up and coming guys. So, what are Killer Method, the Shinobi? What are the basic moves to learn if you want to self-train and want to be responsible? Man, that's a very broad question, Killer Method. I'm gonna call you Shinobi. That's such a broad question. Like, there's so many moves you got to learn. And if you want to self-train, I'm sorry, that's a tough one. But I do want to do more basic videos on my channel. One example is what I just did last night. Watch last night's video. That's something you can self-train very easily. Cutting off the mat, you can do that with a buddy. Real simple. You don't even have to do it with a buddy. You can just kind of like shadow it and pretend. In other words, like shadow boxing, learning how to steer your opponent into a wall, things like that. Like that stuff can be shadowed. It's much better with a partner, but that's all I can give you for now. Sorry. Hope I can help. Bashar, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Asking me how I am. Man, the questions are going to start piling in. Alaz Mari, hey coach, can you learn self-defense through your videos without a gym or partner? No, guys. Like YouTube videos are great. That's why I have a channel. It's to help you guys. But I'm being honest with you. You guys got to get out there and you got to practice. I mean, like, you need a partner. You need to practice. There's only so many things you can do on your own. Again, striking, you can shadow box, you can hit bags. You can buy a suplex speed dummy like what I have in my gym. I have a lot of them. you can throw those things around and work on your own, you can get pretty good. You know, who else was it? There was Killa Method wanted to know about basic moves. You know, you get a suplex speed dummy, and I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to do a video on how to use one, how to hit different techniques with it, and you can do that. But you got to get a partner. But I'm trying to support you. All right, Allah's Mari. All right, Taurus Q, what's up? Who wins, McGregor or Poirier? You guys got to know. I'm going with McGregor. All right, Drew Jen, Happy New Year, Coach. Thank you. Corey, fan of MMA. Hey, Coach, new to wrestling. Can you do tutorial application for the Granby? Yeah, I do have a video already on the Granby. I don't know if you want more. If you want it new to wrestling, I do have a video. If you put Teach Me Grappling Granby, something should come up. Marquise Watkin, what's up? How to condition better for MMA fighters to boost endurance. I do have one video on conditioning. If you go Teach Me Grappling and you put in endurance or conditioning in the field, it should come up. I basically show how to drag a dummy with a rope. That's just one exercise, but I really like weighted jump ropes. You know, I think that weighted jump ropes are killer. You know, definitely we could do more like that. I'm a pretty big fan of like basic CrossFit style workouts. I'm not saying you got to do crazy overhead squats or, you know, things like that. Something that may be difficult for you to do that require highly technical movements, Olympic lifting. But the basic idea of what most CrossFit does, CrossFit workouts, basically highly intense exercises that are kind of like full body workouts that can touch on different muscle groups and combine anaerobic and aerobic exercise together. I'm all for it. So if you guys are doing some box jumps, and then after box jumps, you're doing some pull-ups, and then after pull-ups, you're doing push-ups. After that, you're doing sprints, and then you're doing something else that's really, really going to help you. So for MMA, those are tough workouts. Anyway, why do you don't train as a power lifter? Why do you don't train as a power lifter? I don't train as a power lifter because I think powerlifting is great for getting, some explosiveness in your squat or your bench press or your deadlift, but I'm not a power lifter because I think you need to focus mostly on the sport or in martial arts or self-defense, striking, grappling, takedowns, all that good stuff. I don't think it's wise to just constantly spend time powerlifting, but it's not going to hurt you that much if you dabble in it. But if you put all your time in it, you're not training. Hope that answers, Bashar. Torres Q, who is the best wrestler you've ever seen in MMA? I don't mean the most accomplished wrestler going into MMA. I mean the MMA fighter with the best wrestling in MMA. Definitely Habib is on the top of that. I would say also GSP belongs up there. There's others, but those are the ones I'm going to immediately call out, which I really, really like. Yeah, hope that helps. Who was your BJ coach? Greg Chavez. I actually had many different coaches. Originally, my first jiu-jitsu coach was Robert Ferguson, not known as a jiu-jitsu coach, but had pretty decent grappling back in the day in the 90s. I moved on from there. I pretty much trained with a lot of different instructors here or there, like not directly under them, but I learned from seminars, videotapes, training myself, competing, learned most of my skills there. Trained with Felicia O, who's under Jean-Jacques Machado. Mostly I trained with her. Many friends, Johnny Ramirez, who's New Breed, Jimmy Tang, also a Jean-Jacques black belt. Many people I've learned from over the years. Javier Vasquez. It's just there's too many to count to name, but I would love to do a video someday on all the different influences that I've had from Marcel Garcia. Never got to train with him. I've met him, but never got to train with him. But big influences on me: Cobrinha, Rubens Charles. I've learned from watching the Mendes brothers. This is after I was already fairly well developed, but learned a lot by watching them. I love Saulo Hiberio, obviously Hobson Mora I'm a big fan of Hobson Mora. I've learned so much from watching everybody, guys, even if it's just the Barato Plata from watching Rafael Freitas. There's so many people I've learned from. Eddie Bravo, even, I can say I've learned a lot from watching Eddie Bravo, studying him. Jorge Gracie. There's so many guys. Leo Vieira. It goes on and on. I've studied so many people, and I'm a big fan of a lot of great grapplers. Nowadays, it's more like Gary Tonin, Eddie Cummings, Lachlan Giles, Gordon Ryan, incredible guys. So moving on. All right. Looks like we've got a super chat. Thank you so much from Evans, United States Marine Corps. Thank you so much, brother. Dropping $14.99. Appreciate you. If you have a question, let me know. I don't see one here in front of me, but thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I'm going to try my best to try to answer everyone's question if I can, as long as I can keep going. That's why I'm going to talk fast, guys. Whew, let's do it. Psychosis, what's up? Alejandro Galindo Lavelle. Hi, Coach. Thank you for all the great content, for introducing me to the Lotus Lockdown. The instructional is great. Hey, I'm glad you like that. The guys that produce that, he hits me up all the time, says what's up. They're working on the Rusmar Paharas series right now. That's what his next instructional is for grappling instructionals. And I'm glad you liked Magnus's Lotus Lockdown. Very cool. Luta Livre by Kraken FC. Hey, Coach. I am Polish instructor in UK and really very often inspired by your job. Lost my place. Hold up. I am watching everything, and you're my favorite grappling channel. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Luta Livre by Kraken FC. Okay, Dave L., what's up? I, too, am going with McGregor. That's right. Picking McGregor, guys. He's just incredible. That's all I got to say. Question, from Luta Livre, do you think about Luta Livre Esportiva? Have you tried it before, and how's it works in your opinion? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by, I assume you mean just the sport of Luta Livre, like no gi. That's how I interpret Luta Livre sport, like no gi MMA training. So, obviously my background is very much no gi MMA training. So back in the day, what we called Luta Livre, which was just free fight, just anything goes. That's what it was all about. So I'm not sure how I answer that question. Dave L., I bought a pretty expensive jump rope and it sucks. Recommendations on jump ropes. I can't really necessarily give you a brand. Back in the day, we used to get the jump ropes from Buddy Lee. If you guys don't know who Buddy Lee is, he was a great wrestler, and he's like he's one of the most famous jump ropers. He's like got some world records or something with jump rope. If jump roping was an Olympic sport, he would be an Olympian. So Buddy Lee jump ropes. So that I know that they got some great jump ropes. We used to get them, but again, there's probably many great jump rope brands out there. But what I mentioned earlier, as far as jump ropes, I'm talking about heavy jump ropes. I like to use big ropes. They're like really thick ropes, and they're very heavy, very difficult to even jump rope for a couple minutes with them. So, moving on. Who do you got? Dan Hooker or Michael Chandler? Brian Ochoa, I really don't have an opinion. I'm sorry. I don't have an opinion on that fight. I'm just excited to watch a really good fight. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Majestic Bob, what's up? Ethiopian Phenomenon. What is that advanced takedown defense that Conor used against Khabib during the opening takedown in the first round? It involves grabbing your opponent's legs, and trying to slide by them. Yes. That's called sitting the corner. I'm not sure if I did a video. I might have. I know I talked about it in my video with the breakdown of that fight. Sitting the corner off of the high crotch position that Khabib had on Conor. He's holding Conor's left leg. He got kneed in the face. So in the first round, Khabib was being pressured by Conor right off the bat. Khabib dove in and ate a right knee by Conor McGregor. boom, ate the right knee. He hit the deck, and Khabib was out for a split second, grabbed onto Conor's left leg and turned into a left-handed high crotch. And then Conor was scooting around the corner, slipping that shoulder and sitting in the corner. So if you guys want to watch that fight should be free on YouTube. Of course, it's a very famous fight. You guys can watch what I was talking about. When he got clocked with the knee by McGregor, he recovered, holding on to McGregor's left leg. And McGregor actually, due to his loopiness, McGregor was actually able to sit the corner for a split second, almost get topple over Khabib. But Khabib rebound and came back up and then was able to change off to a double leg. Okay, so I just described it in words. Now you're asking, what is the advanced takedown defense? We got to show you. Sit in the corner. That's a video right there, Ethiopian. Sit in the corner and then taking a guy's back, maybe possibly going in a crucifix, maybe just getting on top. JP, CrossFit sucks. Separate strength and cardio training. No, JP. No, you're wrong. CrossFit does not suck. Okay. What sucks about CrossFit is sometimes people get so sucked into CrossFit that it's like a cult. That's what's wrong with CrossFit. But the overall methodology of CrossFit is actually very similar to what we do in the sports of wrestling, in MMA training. It's very important to do that because in MMA fight, you are not running 5 miles and then in another sense, you are taking your time working on your bodybuilding in the weight room. It is very much a combination of sprinting mixed in with some longer endurance stuff. It's not just sprinting and it's not just long distance. You need to be able to go the distance, and you also need to be able to explode when you need it. Your training should also reflect that to some degree. I'm not saying that you do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with strength training sometimes and then cardio training other times, but mixing them is a good thing. Sorry if you don't like CrossFit. I'm not saying I'm a CrossFit super fan, but I obviously expressed to you the realities of CrossFit, super cult following that is a little annoying at times, but the methodology is actually fairly spot on. And even if someone says they don't do CrossFit, many people are doing CrossFit methodology. Anyway, moving on. Is wrestling enough conditioning? I find it, Uha wants to know, I find it more intense than any other form of exercise. Is it enough conditioning? I mean, no, because if all you do is wrestle, you're going to have wrestling muscles. You also need striking muscles. So if you get in a rough wrestling exchange, when you get back up, you'll notice that snapping your jab and moving your hands is going to be kind of sluggish and slow. You need to have that relaxed striking snap. And, strikers tend to stay a lot more relaxed than wrestlers because when you're engaged in a clinch, you can stay relaxed to a certain degree, but you do have to activate your muscles a lot more in wrestling. That's why you feel that it is a more intense form of exercise than anything else you've done. But you can't just only wrestle. Otherwise, you will tend to not be able to snap your punches as much. Obviously, you got to train striking. You can't just be a wrestler. But wrestling is very good. You do need it. So, hey, coach, could you do a breakdown on the takedown Tito hit on Alberto Del Rio? Tito went for a knee pick from the over-under. I believe William Cooper, you might have commented on this in one of the videos I remember. I didn't really see this. I'm so sorry. He went for the knee pick from the over-under. Alberto stepped back to defend, and Tito hit a single on the opposite leg. Yes, that's very good. You lift the underhook, and you check the far knee pick, and when it's not there, you take the near leg into either a high crotch position or more likely a single leg position. Yes, I would love to do that. I would like to be fair to your question. I would like to see a highlight reel of footage of the takedown so I can be more accurate with what you're exactly showing. Otherwise, I would only show my details. But if I can see what happened, I can definitely break that down. Okay. Evans, United States Marine Corps. There it is. Hey, coach, it's late as hell on the East Coast. Got to get some sleep. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I guess I didn't see that question earlier. Um, Sorry. Get some rest, dude. Thank you. Appreciate you. Majestic Bob, best wrestler in the game now. I'm sorry. Guys, in MMA, Majestic Bob. I don't know, man. Maybe it's you, Majestic Bob. I don't know. Best wrestler in the game. Damn, now that Habib's gone? I don't want to answer that. I'm so sorry. You know, I know you guys are super fans with MMA, and I've been in the game for a long, long time, but because I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm so busy, I'm studying so many things in my life outside of MMA. It's really hard for me to like point that out. You know, I tend to be a guy now where I'll watch the main events, I'll watch a few of the fights, but I miss a lot of fights. Like I don't know who everybody is nowadays like I used to. Like if you ask me about history, I'm gonna be much better at telling you about history, but it's a little harder nowadays for me just because I'm not as involved as I used to be, which I need to get back on the horse, but I'm busy doing so many things in my life, balancing things. So I'm trying not to just be full MMA all the time, which is what my life used to be when I was just a full-time MMA coach. But now I run a gym, I run a barbecue business on the side. I'm trading in the stock market every day, and then running a YouTube channel. So it's kind of rough, and trying to run my gym, it just takes up a lot of time. All right, moving on. JP, strength is important. Work on strength in the weight room. Do cardio stuff separate. Hill sprints, prowler for cardio as well. Extra rounds and cardio at the end of sparring sessions. All right, JP, I already told you what I think. Moving on, what bad advice do you frequently hear in the world of grappling? What bad advice? My gripe with the world of grappling is, well, I hear two things, and they're almost opposites. Okay, one thing I heard tonight from one of my guys: you don't need high level jujitsu to fight MMA. And I was like, just grilling one of my guys. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I'm like, you do need high level grappling. You should never think that way. I go, just replace the word grappling with striking and see how that sounds to you. You don't need high level striking to fight MMA. Well, I mean, in some sense, it's true. Like, you don't have to be Floyd Mayweather in boxing. You don't have to be the greatest kicker in the world. You don't have to be Sanchai to fight MMA. No, you don't. But wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to be as good with your hands as Mayweather? Wouldn't it be nice to be as good with your whole kickboxing skills as Sanchai? It doesn't make sense to shut the doors on any type of thing. So this is something I hear from people. They go, no, MMA is different. You just need the basics of jiu-jitsu, the basics of this, basics. Look, you need to be who's best for you. Some people are going to be basics at everything, and that's going to be their best. And they're not going to be anything special in any one area, but it's because they got the basics in all the areas. And just because that works for one guy doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Maybe you're going to be the next Ryan Hall. If you're the next Ryan Hall, you're going to master the 50-50 position. You're going to be a heel hook freak. You're going to be a jiu-jitsu freak, and you're going to have some pretty good kicks. And then when people get entangled with you, you're going to win just about every single exchange because you know leg locks way better than they do. You can be lopsided in MMA. Habib was very, very good at taking people down. He wasn't bad at striking. He's not horrible at striking, but he's also not amazing at striking. He made his game work for him. He takes people down. He's in great shape. He grinds them out, and he wins. All right. So that's some bad advice that I heard actually today. Another piece of bad advice, I'll do this really, really quick, is I hear people in grappling like just the problem with jiu-jitsu world. I always have this problem. The guard and the pulling guard and the inverting and the style of the jiu-jitsu game that we have nowadays is a beautiful thing. It's a fun game to watch. It's really kind of cool. But unless you can be like a Ryan Hall and bring it into MMA, most of it, you need to get back to the basics. You need to fight like BJ Penn, get on top of people, swarm them, beat them down, take their back and choke them out. Moving on. CJ Odendahl, have you ever hit the Indian deathlock in training? Honest, no. Indian deathlock Guy puts you in a lockdown, you stand up, push his knees down. That's what I call the Indian deathlock. If you call it something else, then I think that's what you're talking about. I've never actually hit it in training. Yes, I know the move. Yes, I've practiced it before back in the 90s. I mean, it's just, I don't think it's realistic you're going to stand up on lockdowns. By the time you do stand up on a lockdown, the lockdown's usually it's gone. Yes, I understand that if you do catch it on a guy, there's a point of no return where a guy can't unlock it. But no, I haven't. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. I'm just not a big fan. I think good lockdown players are not going to allow you to stand up like that. Moving on. JP, quick one here. What is your favorite butterfly sweep? Thank you, JP. JP, I really like the over-under. I mean, again, but you know what I do different? Okay, here's a different one. Most people just show simple over-under butterfly sweep. I believe I have a video on it somewhere. I like the wrist control and the arm drag 2-on-1. So I go arm drag 2-on-1 into a butterfly sweep because I got drag and I sneak take the back. And then I go butterfly sweep when the guy resists. And then I come into X guard off of that. That's, again, classic. It's not a super new style, but still, I don't see a lot of guys using it. They don't use it. They don't use it as much. Some guys do, some guys don't. It's something I really like. Awesome butterfly sweep. Anyway, Arn the Viking, do you know the buggy choke? Could you maybe do a video on it someday? Yes. Arn the Viking. Yes, that's what it says. Arn the Viking. It looks like am the Viking. Anyway, Arn the Viking. Said your name a million times. Guys, the buggy choke. I actually wish I filmed it. This was when you guys were first asking me right after Rutolo pulled it off in combat jiu-jitsu and won the combat jiu-jitsu worlds. He pulled it off. He won with a buggy choke. Right after that happened, I actually went into the room. I had practiced it long ago when it came out a few years ago. Some white belts or a white belt came out with it or whatever. And I had touched on it, but I didn't really like it. It was hard for me. I'm not really that flexible. So I put in a solid 2-hour session. We're working on the buggy choke. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to say about the buggy choke. It's freaking dangerous. Okay. If you deal with a guy who knows how to do it, it's a dangerous move. I will do a video on the buggy choke soon. I wished that we filmed that night that we were basically in the lab going over it. I was teaching all my guys the buggy choke and going over the specifics. Now, I am not a buggy choke master, but I understand grappling and I know how to watch people who are good with it and study what they're doing and what makes it work. That I am very good at and breaking stuff down. And my body adapts to things fairly well. Now, let me tell you this on the buggy choke. I'm not very flexible. And since that session, I have damaged my knee really bad. So I now have 2 bum knees, which means during that time, I could do the buggy choke with my left knee. I couldn't do it with my right. I could do it with my left. Now I can't do it with my left. Now my right knee is better than my left. So, and my right knee is bad. So here's what I got to say on the buggy choke. If you're flexible and you got healthy knees, do the buggy choke. Work on it. Practice it. It's a funky, weird-ass move, but practice it. I do have a slight feeling about it that it is a very dangerous play because most people are not going to give it any credit. Most people aren't going to practice it. They're not going to practice defense for it. They're not going to be ready for it, which makes the move work even better. It's a weird move, sure. You're probably not going to see it much, sure. But it's because nobody will practice it is why that thing's going to work. And it's not just that. There's guys out there, I believe in it. I actually got pretty decent with it in a 2-hour session. I got pretty decent at hitting it on at the time, my healthy left knee, which now I can't do. So that's one reason why I have pushed the move aside because I can't exactly demonstrate it. I want to do it justice. So I'm kind of hoping my knee will heal, which I'm not sure it is. I might need knee surgery. Moving on. Buggy choke. I'm going to get you guys a video. I promise you. I know there's other guys that will teach it to you and they'll teach it to you good. Maybe you just want to hear me talk about it. I don't know. I just gave you some ideas of what I think about it. I do think it's legit. I experienced it. And the crazy thing about the buggy choke is if you're sitting in side control thinking you're cool, you're not. It's like I've told you guys in the past, if you guys watch a lot of my videos, I've said that bottom side control is very similar to top side control. The only difference is the gravity factor. It's flipped over. That's all it is. So a lot of the techniques you can do in top side control, a lot of them you can do in bottom side control. People just don't realize it. And it's because of that you start to realize there's other techniques like the buggy choke that you can hit from the bottom, even though you're supposed to be in the bad position. If you lock it up tight, that top guy's in trouble, you know? So all I gotta say is watch out. More and more people practice it. Funky, flexible dudes are gonna lock that thing up on you. And if you don't have a good answer, and I kind of have a little answer for it, you can't let it get set in tight. I figured that out that night. There's, talking about countering the buggy choke, it's not easy, but it helps if you've already practiced it a few times and you've had people put it on you, then you'll be a lot more ready. Anyway, moving on. Michael Torres, what's up? Sugar or Jimin? Emma wants to know. Mike, what's up, man? Sugar or Jimin? I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm like out of the loop. I don't even know what you're talking about. Damn, is that like, are you talking about, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're going to have to clarify. I'm sorry. What's up? Good to see you on here. All right, Mo Rex wants to know, what do you think of Anwar Gaduev? Yes, I obviously got to see a lot of Gaduev. Remember when we did that video on the wrist snap with the Russian snap? Makhachev and Chase Saldate. Obviously, Gaduev was the guy I was trying to remember. I had watched Gaduev wrestle. At the time, I forgot his name when I did that video. I mentioned that Makhachev is not the guy that does this move, even though Makhachev's the one that pulled it off on high school kid Chase Saldate up at AKA. It was actually Gaduev that actually is the master, pretty much the guy who does the that wrist snap, Russian snap. What do I think? I think he's an absolute gorilla. What else can I say? Guy's a monster, and he's got some cool ass shit. A2 Atois 408. Call it a head and arm or arm triangle. I don't know what you mean. Varun, what's going on, man? Michael Chiesa talked about shrugging the shoulders, tucking elbows, tucking your chin as a way of defending against a rear naked palm-to-palm choke. Your thoughts on making the neck unsqueezable. Talked about shrugging the shoulders, tucking the elbows, and tucking your chin as a way to defend rear naked palm-to-palm like this. I mean, yeah, if a guy's like kind of tired and you're good at withstanding chokes, yeah, you can that'll kind of work. But you get a fresh guy, a guy who's really strong, and he gets his arm around your neck, you can shrug all you want. If I get you in a rear naked choke, guys, I don't care who you are. If I'm fresh and I'm on your back and I get a rear naked choke and I get my lock the way I want, even this one, and I'm able to arch and pull, you can shrug all you want. You can tuck your chin, you can tuck your elbows. Your neck, your jaw's gonna break. Your jaw's gonna pop. Your neck's gonna get hurt. So yes, it can help you defend. I'm pretty good at defending with it. It's not an answer. There are no hide. You can run, but you can't hide. Okay, the great Joe Louis said that. You can run, but you can't hide, Varun. If you try to hide, hiding is important in fighting, in combat. Hiding is important, but it's not going to save you forever. Just know that. Those are wise words. You cannot hide forever. Somebody's going to figure you out. They're going to crack that nut open. Tourist Q, how important is strength? I remember Frank Mir was way better BJJ practitioner than Brock Lesnar, and he got fully dominated in the rematch. Strength is really important, tourist. It's really important. If you have skill, if you have strength and no skill, it's not going to help you. But the thing is, when Brock was much more aware of submission skills, he got knee barred the first time, But once he got submission skills, he's kind of more aware. He knows how to stay out of that stuff. But keep in mind, he's an NCAA 2-time finalist, 1-time champ. So, when he fought Frank Mir, it's not like he's walking in, even if he's not the greatest at BJJ, you're talking about an NCAA champion. So, you teach him enough BJJ to stop it, and now he's a beast. And if he's strong as hell, it's really, really important. Strength matters. I mean, I can't tell you guys, like in my weight class, I used to be, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but there's not too many guys stronger than me. You know what I mean? When I cut down to 132, at 132 pounds, sure, you could get a little short dude who's really strong, stronger than me, but I was not a weak guy. I try to pride myself as a technical person, but I feel very strong in my weight class. Now, I don't know if other people feel that I'm strong, but I feel strong. That's what matters. Like does matter that they think I'm strong, but I'm saying, like, when I feel confident, I don't feel like anybody's really much stronger than me. And whenever I have gone with a little short, stocky, strength power guys, I've always felt like I had advantages from being a little more lanky with leverage. So, but strength is very important. So when from the other side of the coin, what I'm trying to say is, when I've competed and felt my opponent and he's weak, you feel it. You even instantly know, and you can just do what you want with him. And to a certain degree, I had a match with Jeff Glover, a couple matches with Jeff Glover, and although I'm stronger than Jeff Glover, because Jeff is so technical, he never allowed me into positions where I could completely overpower him. For example, when Jeff Glover went with Chad Mendes and Chad was able to choke Jeff Glover from the back, they went into that EBI style overtime. That's a position where Chad Mendes can use his strength over somebody who's weaker, Jeff Glover. There's an example of where kind of like why strength really mattered in that moment. Jeff couldn't handle the squeeze and the pressure and the arch of Chad Mendes in their match. But that's only because the EBI rules allowed Chad into that position. Otherwise, Jeff is so good that he would never allow Chad or someone like Chad or me to be in a good position to use our strength. So, but strength matters. Strength matters. Strength matters. Get strong. All right. CV, hey coach, my best buddy and me love your videos. Cool, thank you. Enrique Meza, wanting to be an MMA fighter, would you recommend me to do BJJ in the afternoon and have a extra wrestling session as a high schooler? Yes, I would focus mostly, if you're in high school, Enrique, focus on your wrestling. You're not going to be able to ever get those years back. So wrestle. Spend the majority of your time wrestling in high school. I am not saying don't do jiu-jitsu. I'm not saying don't work on your kickboxing when you can, but wrestle. You only get those years when you're in high school. There is no way that an MMA school, I don't give a shit how good they are not going to make you as good of a wrestler as you can get in high school wrestling. And I know that might be like a bold statement because there's great MMA coaches that teach wrestling. But what I'm trying to say is you cannot replace the experience that you get wrestling in high school. Competition, going to tournaments every weekend, cutting weight, the grind, the 2 to 3 hour grind every single day, 5 days a week, getting ready for tournaments on the weekends. There's no way. The hard work, the nerves, the experience you get from match after match, going to a competition, knocking out between 5 and 10 matches in a weekend, you can't replace it. There's no way. You can't replace it. So spend your time wrestling. If you have extra time, instead of saying an extra wrestling session as a high schooler, no, it should be, you should do wrestling and then maybe an extra session of BJJ. No rush though. Wrestling. Ray Lance. Have you heard of Dan Wolfman Theodore? If so, what do you think of his skills? Oh, that's great. Is this Dan the Wolfman, Ray Lance? Are you Dan? Yes, I know Dan. He gives me shit all the time. I give him shit. Um, he pops on the channel. Every once in a while, he'll be on here live and he'll give me a little shit. Dan came in and he came to a couple of my classes like maybe back in like 2008, 2007, 2008. So it's been about 12 years ago when I met him. I got to train with him sometime around, I rolled with him one time at our buddy school. We had a buddy, Burbank, uh, Brett Burniston, a black belt. Anyway, at his school, we got to roll. Dan wrestled, in high school. So he's kind of he's a catch wrestler. He knows the submissions. So I think his skills are good. I think he's reasonably good. But, I mean, I sound like an ass, I guess, if I say he's not good or if I think I'm better or whatever. But guys, Dan's good. But at the same time, he's not like super skilled at jiu-jitsu. So he's kind of like, he's good at jiu-jitsu, but he's not amazing at jiu-jitsu. But because he adds in his decent, good jiu-jitsu in with wrestling, that makes him better. So, and he does have MMA experience. He's fought before. He's more grounded than most jiu-jitsu black belts. So there's a huge compliment. I mean, he's better than most jiu-jitsu black belts because he's exposed to wrestling. He's exposed to MMA. So in that case, like Dan's great. He's got great skills. But if you're asking me, like, what do I think of his grappling skills? Like grappling only, I think it's just good. I don't think like Dan the Wolfman is not going to, go and train with Gordon Ryan and hold his own against Gordon Ryan. That's not going to happen. But that's what I have to say. All right, he's good. Simon Erickson, top grappling techniques for self-defense. Don't I show that every video? Not every video, because some of them are like sportive. I'm going to point you right to the video that we just did last night. Being pushed up against a wall. Those are great self-defense grappling techniques. There's so many, Simon. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to just say what I think like right now, but please go check out my videos. And I know if it looks like kind of sportive, like jiu-jitsu, like where I'm playing guard or sitting on my butt, then that's not exactly usually, I mean, it's still good. You might use it at one point in a self-defense situation, but more than likely it's not geared towards that. It's more geared towards sport grappling. But there's lots of all the stuff we've done out on the street, the outdoor stuff. I have a few videos on outdoor, like takedowns, stuff like that with Anton. Those are great. Taking shooting in on people to take them down, like with a dummy. I think I did one there. We've got some MMA. If you put in MMA, there's probably some that'll pop up. They're good for self-defense. Anyway, CV, what is your absolute favorite technique? A takedown, a pin, or a submission? I don't know, man. It changes all the time, but it's boring. But rear naked choke. I really like the rear naked choke. It's something I feel like I can get on just about anyone. I'm also, for a while, I mean, I've always jumped around. For a while, I thought the omoplata was the greatest move. I became really good with the Barata Plata, with a Peruvian necktie. I was really good at the Peruvian necktie. Takedowns, man, I mean, like, there's a lot of takedowns, and I'm not like amazing at any one takedown, but again, you guys saw my video on the special. That was something that was my favorite move for a while. But I like arm drags a lot. I used to love suplexes, man. I used to love that. I mean, there's so many things I'd love when it comes to pins in wrestling. I'd love the ball and chain. I love the twister. The wrestler's guillotine. there's so many moves. Tilts. Anyway, that's wrestling stuff. Drew Jen, who do you pick in McGregor versus Oliveira? No, I would pick McGregor. I think McGregor's the best in the world. I think when he trains hard, I think he's the best in the world. I don't know how he's training. I don't know how he's going to look this weekend. We're going to have to find out. But I do think he is the most talented with the most skills. I think I pick him. James Parker, when you train with your students who have less time and experience in sparring, how do you practice offense without making them feel overwhelmed? You know what? It's real easy for me, James, because I don't know why most people can't do it, but I'm always watching people and I'm like, they're different levels. Why does this guy have to beat the shit out of this guy? I'm like, just move with him. Just let him work and make it challenging and fun. Sometimes what I do when I go with somebody, which again, lately I haven't been training at all because my knees are just totally thrashed. I'm worried about my knees right now. My knees, I can show technique, but the second I get under resistance of people like pulling on my legs, my knees cannot stabilize. So I'm having serious knee problems right now in my life. But I can at least show techniques. So I'm happy about that. And but getting to the point. But when I would spar with my students, if they're below in skill level by a lot, I simply just move with them. And then you know what I do? I transform myself. I move into what I'm basically going to use. I'll be like a white belt. So they're a white belt. I'm a white belt. I start acting like a white belt. I actually try to mimic a white belt. I expose my limbs. I do certain grips that white belts will do. I actually squeeze them. I let them feel like what they're going to feel, what it feels like to go with another white belt. And then that way, and I do it slow, and I try to leave things open for long periods of time. So it would be, if it was striking, it would be like I would throw slow jabs and punches really, really slow and obvious so that they could counter me because I want them to swing back. But then the moment they come to hit me, I slip out of the way and I miss it. And then I show them a little bit of good, like how to move defense, but then I come back and and that's how I teach them. That's how I show them the offense and I show them the defense so that we have an exchange. And then maybe towards the end of the roll, I let them win. I don't beat their ass. If it's the first time, I beat their ass. First time, you got to beat the white belt's ass, the new guy's ass, because you got to let them know what's going on. Otherwise, sometimes they get delusional like, bro, I just went with you. I've actually had that happen multiple times in my early years, and I learned right away. It wakes people up. Once they're humble and they have respect, dude, I just move with them. I just flow with them. If they start out with respect, then I'll move with them. But sometimes you can tell. You can tell if a guy's trying to go real hard. If he tries to go real hard, then I just beat their ass. But then once they settle down, then I make sure that they understand like how to exchange, because it's a chess match. It's a chess game. So you need to move slowly. It's not move the piece all fast and try to hurt each other. Shouldn't be that way. You got to settle a guy down first, unless he's going to listen and you can tell him with words. Most of the time they don't. All right, moving on. What type of shampoo do you use? Your hair is amazing. James Batista. My hair is not amazing. It's all messy. Pantene, James. Pantene is the secret. Varun, what's up? I think you got confused between Luta Libre and Vale Tudo. Luta Libre is grappling art with leg lock, heavy grappling. I know what Luta Libre is, Varun. I did not get confused. Vale Tudo is anything goes. No, what I'm talking about is Luta Libre is the Brazilian no-gi. It's like Brazilian jiu-jitsu no-gi. And yes, I'm very familiar. But back in the day when people said Luta Libre, it was like free fighting, like, no-gi fighting. And it went hand in hand with Vale Tudo. So I wasn't confused, but point taken. Moving on. Drew Jen, shampoo. Seriously, dude? Beast. What do we have right here? I just got lost. There's a million questions now. I got lost. Where am I? Dude, there's so many questions. I'm never going to get to you guys. I'm scrolling back. Sorry. All right, Beast Bro mode. You're up. Hey, coach. I'm a wrestler and I am a 114 pounder, but I'm at 130 right now. But I don't know how I'm going to lose this weight. I'm slim and tall because we can't physically use the room right now, so it's hard. Dude, why are you trying to cut to 114s from 130? You're in high school, right? So don't cut weight. You shouldn't be going down there. If you're tall and you're skinny already, you don't have any body fat. Why should you be cutting from 130 to 114? Listen, in high school, my senior year, I cut from like 132 and I was shredded at 132, and I would cut all the way to 119. It was hell. I felt like shit. It was terrible. It's not worth it. Just wrestle. If you're 130, go to like 125. It should be 128, right? 126, 128. I don't know where you're wrestling at 114. Weight class should be 113, 115, somewhere right in that range. But whatever. Or maybe you're 113s and you get a pound allowance. Anyway, don't cut weight. I'm sorry, bro. That's my answer. You shouldn't be cutting that much weight. And I know your coach may put pressure on you. Stupid. Sorry, I don't mean to call your coach stupid because, but if it's just a few pounds, it makes sense. But you shouldn't be cutting from 130 to 114 if you're already skinny. It's too much. It means you've grown. You're a growing boy, and you need to go up a weight class. All right, James Parker. And he posted that right after my question and has the same first name as me. Okay, Cash Money. Habib is the GOAT. Okay, yeah, he's one of them for sure. Zaid Thakur. How often do you do these lives? Usually maybe I don't know, guys. Do I do this once a week? I think I miss a week every now and then. I would say on average, I do this once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week. Drew Jan, LOL, Tourist Q. Why was an older, smaller Randy Couture able to handle Brock Lesnar better than a young, big, strong Frank Mir? Randy Couture is basically like a world level wrestler, guys. He was like the #1 United States national level Greco-Roman wrestler for, I don't know what, 10 to 15 years, 10 years at least. Randy Couture was the #1 guy in the US, at least 10 years. So, and even when he was older, he may have not been the natural, but I don't know about Frank Mir either. Anyway, moving on. Stylion Alexiev. What's up, coach? What's up? Ryan Bates, any tips on whipping an opponent over in an MMA clinch? Whipping an opponent over, like throwing him, like lateral drop is good. Any tips? Yeah, you got to get Kazushi, which is off balancing. You got to get him to push, and so you can pull, or move him to the right so you can throw him to the left. You got to get him off balance. You got to set him up. Adrian S. Advice for the first amateur kickboxing fight. IKF modified Muay Thai rules. Black belt and ITF Taekwondo, but have been sparring under the rule set for a while now. I'm used to leg kicks and face punches. Great. Advice for a first amateur kickboxing fight is amateur. Volume. You're going to need to use volume. If you're a Taekwondo guy, obviously your kicks are your money. Use your front kick or your teep. Use that front snap kick from Taekwondo. Use it a lot. Use your side kicks. A lot of guys aren't ready for the side kick. Volume. The guy who throws the most shots usually is going to have the advantage in amateur. You need to get after it. Most guys lose because they wait. I'm not saying that you should just be blitzkrieg, go crazy, but remember this. If you wait and you hesitate, you will meditate on the floor. Okay? So that means you're going to get hit. If you just sit there and you don't get after it, you got to get after it in amateur. So obviously use your footwork. If you're a Taekwondo guy, stay light on your toes. A lot of the Muay Thai guys, they tend to get in their rhythm. They do the Muay Thai rhythm, so you need to use what you know well. It doesn't mean that you need to fight like a Muay Thai fighter. You need to fight what's best for you. If you're a black belt in ITF, then you need to fight the way you fight. So if you're already used to the leg kicks and you're already used to the face punches, you probably have better flexibility through Taekwondo. So I would use those advantages. Like I said, lots of front kicks, side kicks. Keep them off of you. Keep them guessing. Move at angles. Stay on your toes, but keep the volume up. All right. Stylion Alexiev, coach, what's the best way to practice my grappling? The gyms are still closed here in Greece. Damn, that sucks. Get a buddy, practice in your house. Get a buddy, go practice at the park, wrestle on the grass, up on your feet, do lots of stand-up grappling. No, it's an excuse if you say you can't do anything. There's no way. I don't live in Greece, but I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't be able to find a way to get a partner and meet with them and do it behind closed doors where you're allowed to do it. So that's what I recommend with all the respect in the world. Hitting tax 26. Are chokeouts suitable for self-defense? Yeah, when you got to defend yourself, hell yeah, they're suitable. JP, check out BNGO in the stock market. I'm very familiar with BNGO. Actually, I shorted BNGO a little bit and I made some money on it. But yeah, BNGO has been going crazy. If you haven't already, genome editing and crypto are the big gainers this decade. Yeah, thank you, JP. I got it on my watch list. Watch it. I at least take a look at it once or twice or 3 times a day. So not playing it right now. I might short it. So sorry. I know if you think it's going to go crazy, and it has been going crazy, but I can't exactly invest long term in stocks like that. I tend to day trade. So Justin Breeze, have you ever seen a standing twister against the cage? No, I have not in an MMA fight. If it's happened, I'd love to see it. So used to watch that in pro wrestling. Mo Rex, did you ever wrestle? Of course I wrestled, Mo Rex. Thank you. Yogev Adler, could you do a video on turtle escapes? Yes, I can. I'll try to do that. Thank you for the push. CJ Odendahl, what's your advice for gym owners, people wanting to open home gyms during CCP virus period? I think you mean the communist China. Is that what that means? Anyway, virus. Anyway, what's your advice? I don't know if I have advice for you, CJ. I just do my thing, guys. The coronavirus is definitely killing my business. At the gym, I only train with our little diehards. We get our workout in, but my business is torn apart because of it. Because I live out in Cali, it sucks, but what are we gonna do? So just do the best we can. Hopefully, we can get over this thing soon and get things open back up. So it's not much I can do about it. I just do the best I can, and I make money all the different ways I can. Private lessons, selling barbecue on the weekend, trading the stock market, teach me grappling. What's up? Bader Al-Shaheen, your best tips for a BJJ beginner? Ugh, I hate these questions. Sorry, Bader. You just need to go to class. I'm sorry. Watch my videos. Watch other people's videos. Best tips, lots of shrimping. Hip escape is really important. Shrimping. Bridging, working on your bridge, knowing how to roll, forward roll, backward roll, good mobility drills, stretch, get nice and loose and flexible, learn your basics. Armbar, triangle, Kimura, Americana, rear naked choke, guillotine, footlock, knee bar, arm triangle, DARS. Learn your basics. Learn your escapes for all your positions, mount escape, back escape, side control escape, how to open the guard, how to pass the guard. That's it. How to maintain balance. spreading your base. These are the best tips for a beginner. Dexter Morgan, ever trained at Lloyd Irvin's? No, I have not. Sorry, Dexter. Alba Mira, hey coach, can I wrestle effectively with my dominant leg back since I'm orthodox striker? Yes, you can. Of course you can. Just got to practice that way, Alba. Tourist Q, how many hours do you work? A lot, guys. Tonight, like I gotta go. It's 11:45. Stock market's gonna open in about an hour and 15 minutes. I will sometimes get 30 minutes sleep. Wake up at 1 a.m. Trade the stock market for anywhere between 15 minutes if there's nothing going on at 1 a.m. all the way to 2 hours. I might be up. Just depends. I might be studying what I'm going to do for the day. Wake up again, possibly at 4 a.m. Definitely at 6:30 on the West Coast. That's our official market open. This is a typical day for me, guys. Trade the stock market from 6:30 to 9. Get up, shower, do what I got to do, basic brushing teeth and do all that stuff. Get to the gym, teach a class, teach for a couple hours. After that, I get a little bit of time. Sometimes I get to go home and take a nap for maybe half hour to an hour. Sometimes I got to like work on the stuff on the gym. Get back to the gym. We got class at 4. Train people from 4 o'clock all the way till 9, 10 o'clock. And then come home, do a TeachMeGrappling video, upload a video to you guys. And tonight, since I didn't upload, do a live for an hour, and then repeat. It's a lot of hours. I definitely don't get enough sleep. JP, we play the same game in butterfly guard pretty much. Happy to hear that. I use those same 2-on-1 sweeps in no-gi. In the gi, I use the cross collar, elbow, grip, push, pull, back take, and hook sweep. Beautiful. I love that stuff. Beautiful, JP. Ethiopian phenomenon. If you could change the way that BJJ is conventionally taught, what would you change? I think that the way BJJ is conventionally taught, too much of BJJ is taught with rolling, just sparring. I think they need to situational things more. The typical way that BJJ does situational is they do, okay, let's do pass the guard. Let's do mount escapes. Let's do side control escapes, back control escapes. That's good. But I think you need to situational everything. So you need to situational the arm bar position. And I'm not saying schools don't do that. They do. But I think they spend a little too much time just straight up rolling. It's the culture of the game. And it's an amazing thing. It's kind of what keeps people going in some sense. But if they want to improve and get better, they need to work more on takedowns. They're not working on takedowns enough. The guard pulling situations got to get fixed. It probably never will. But, it just when you get older, it's easier to pull guard. I mean, I understand. So that's what I would change. Dexter Morgan. What was Big John McCarthy's gym focused on back in the day? It was a mixed martial arts gym, Dexter. So it was a one-stop shop, major gym. We had jiu-jitsu classes in the gi, jiu-jitsu classes no gi. We had kickboxing classes. We had boxing classes. We had a judo class at one point. We even kind of had a karate class at one point. Wrestling, when I got there, I was there to run the MMA team. We had black belts of every style imaginable, and I was just there to run MMA. That's what I got hired on by Big John to start out with. And then after that, he asked me, hey, can you help with the kids wrestling class? And then I took on that role, ran the kids. I kind of took over the program. The coach there wasn't really all that great at wrestling. And so I kind of basically took it over and took over the kids wrestling, started taking them to competitions. Then I took over the kids jiu-jitsu. Then I took over an adult jiu-jitsu class. Then I took over morning and night adult jiu-jitsu and, MMA and wrestling and kids jiu-jitsu. I was wearing a lot of hats. So it was a one-stop shop. It was an amazing amazing time in my life. I learned a lot when I was there. I got to meet a lot of great people, make friends, and I basically moved my life out to Valencia, California, right where Magic Mountain is. So I didn't even know the area, until because of Big John. That's why I moved out there. So thanks to him and his wife Elaine for giving me the opportunity and bringing me to Santa Clarita or Valencia. Robert Lowe, Dexter Morgan, Lloyd Irvin has sexual assault allegations on him and his students. It would be wise to stay away from him. Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing. We were just talking about that the other day, Robert, in my gym. Drew Jen, you're too winded on these questions, Coach. You're too winded? It will be Friday before you see mine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I guys, I can't get to them all. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to just blitz right through everything, and I gotta go to bed. I know I never wanted to train there, but just asking, okay, blah blah. Blah, how MMA pro current? How many MMA pro fighters have you currently on your team? Uh, just one or two, guys. Two. Really, we got Vince Pichel. He's on the UFC roster, and you guys got to look out for Jesse. Man, Jesse's coming. Jesse Strader. You guys hopefully are going to see him in the UFC real soon. He hasn't fought in the UFC yet, but he's 5-1 as a pro, and he's coming. So Aikido Scholar 7:15 here in Spain. Small breakfast before we go to a grappling session. Good mental warm up. You're streaming. All right, get after it. Varun, if you want to train BJJ that works in MMA, what are the moves you would never train? You would never train in? Spider guard. That's all I got, Varun. What about Bilal? What about Habib? Yes, he's great. Hey, coach, have you been to Rounders MMA? Skeptic. Yes, I've been to Rounders. That's my buddy Bao Quach. Yes, I've been. I did a seminar there a couple years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Varun, what do you think about the type of training where you let your partners know what sub you want to catch them in and try to get it? Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. I mean, all that stuff is great. Hey, coach, was there a time where you ever encountered Greg Nelson? No. Bilal, can I get strong? Or it's from God. Yes, you can get strong, Bilal. You got to train. You got to work hard. You can get as strong as you can get. Okay, Varun, I think I am a blue belt level in BJJ and have decent striking. I've seen you. You look pretty good, but have never competed before. I badly want to debut in MMA and not lose. Please give a good plan, sir. Varun, you got pretty good jiu-jitsu. Make sure your wrestling's on point. Make sure your striking's on point. Your jiu-jitsu's pretty decent. I remember I've watched some of your live stuff you sent me before. Just keep it up. Keep training. Believe in yourself. You're super tiny. You fight another tiny guy, you're gonna be all right, Varun. Tharusha Fernando, hi coach. Any advice on safe neck and core strengthening exercises? Yeah, I mean, like, go look at my neck training video. If you don't know, put in like TeachMeGrappling back bridging or neck workout, something like that. It should come up. Bilal, coach, I'm 17 now. I do Taekwondo, Muay Thai. Do you think wrestling is better for me or learn now if I want to be an MMA fighter? Yeah, that's great. You do striking. You've got to learn wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Go do it. Ertigal, 1865. Hi, coach. Are you 40, 50-second full power chokeholds are good for training, endurance, and they're not necessary. 40 to 50-second full power chokeholds? I think that's a little long. I like 10 seconds. Anyway, moving on. On a dummy, for instance. Okay, what the hell? Why no notice? Is that you, Jeff? What's up? Sorry, no notice. Tourist Q, GSP, didn't wrestle in high school. Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. He started wrestling when he became an MMA fighter. At one point, he even wanted to go to the Olympics as a wrestler for Canada. Do you think he could have? No, I don't. I think he's really good, but I don't think he could have wrestled in the Olympics. But he's pretty good. Canada's not the greatest, so maybe he could have. I don't know, but I don't think he could. Moving on. Frank Skirm, it's different to wrestle in wrestling than it is in MMA. GSP is a great MMA wrestler. Franz Kern, Hey, coach, do you lift weights besides doing BJJ? Not lately that much. I'd like to do lightweight nowadays because I'm getting too old. My shoulders. I'm almost 43. All right. But yes, weightlifting's good. Remco, do you think a 7-dan black belt jiu-jitsu can beat Khabib on the ground? A 7-dan? In jiu-jitsu, we don't use the word dan like they do in karate. Anyway, no, he can't beat Khabib on the ground unless let me give you an example. Gary Tonin would submit Khabib on the ground if they're grappling, but if they're fighting MMA, that's a bit taller order, much more difficult. But a guy like Gary Tonin and Ryan Hall, they're the only ones that could do it. They got to be that good to do it. Anyway, depends on how good he is. All right, Tharusha, Fernando. Hey, coach, any advice on a safe neck? Wait a minute, I already read that. Moving on. Hi from Japan, Okinawa, Japan. Hello. What's up, Jeff? Bilal. All right, Murky Birkins. I'm doing this fast as I can, guys. What is your opinion on Williams guard? I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's just not my thing. It's like rubber guard and Williams guard. I'm not saying it's not good. To some people, I know they use it and they're good at it. I've just never been a fan. Not, especially with my knees. My knees are jacked. I cannot do anything like that. Anyway, Zach, is Aikido any good for grappling? No. So sometimes. Konnichiwa. All right, thank you. Keegan, if I were to start grappling, how would I do so in COVID-19 climate? Oh, get a partner. Find a partner. Go to your house. Grapple all in the grass. If you can't go to the gym, you gotta find a way. There is a way. If you want it, there's a way. Bilal, coach, my dream is to be an MMA fighter. I want to travel to Thailand. Can I learn BJJ and wrestling there, please? Yes. Bilal, you go to Tiger Muay Thai. I taught at Tiger Muay Thai 10 years ago. When I trained at Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand, they have a jiu-jitsu class every single day. They will probably have a wrestler there teaching you wrestling. I'll bet they have a wrestler there teaching you wrestling. And if they don't have I'm sure they do. But even if they didn't, the jiu-jitsu guy there is going to know some wrestling. I guarantee you. They are an MMA gym. Thailand has a lot, and it's a lot more than just Tiger Muay Thai. But you can get it all there. One-stop shop. Great place to train. Moving on. Ertugrul. Palm to palm or regular rear naked advantage and disadvantages coach. Palm to palm when you can't do this. Sometimes you can't do this. So you got to do this. This is better for me because I got length in my arms, and when I lock this up, it's all over. For guys with gigantic arms, bigger than mine, you want to use this grip most of the time. Advantages, disadvantages. What grapples would you recommend me to study to improve my grappling? What grapplers? Man, I love Gary Tonin. I love Gordon Ryan. These are the guys I really like to watch. Lachlan Giles, incredible stuff. The new guys of today. These are the guys I like to watch. Love how you expanded to judo kickboxing as well. Thank you, Brent. Hi, coach. Any advice on a safe neck? Oh my gosh, I already answered that. I'm sorry, Tharusha. Maybe I didn't answer that. But I would recommend going to my video on back bridging. I know some people say it's not safe or bad for you. I've heard that before. I disagree. Do it slow. Do it easy. Don't push yourself to where you get hurt. Kotegaeshi is awesome Aikido if you know how to do it. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh, shoot. See, I don't even know what I'm doing, guys. I'm never going to get to your questions. We got guys that I got to take care of the super chats before I go to bed. Adrian S. Thanks, coach. I appreciate you. $2. Thank you, Adrian. Give you a little shout. Thank you so much. Let me scroll down, guys. Okay, Evan, $5. Super chat. Hey, coach. I feel like COVID-19 is taking time away from us beginner MMA guys. I'm still training, but no bouts yet since gym's closed because of COVID-19. Any advice? Well, it is taking time away from you. It is a tough problem. Other people have mentioned it. Still training, but no bouts yet since the gym's closed. Get a partner. I'm going back to it. Get a partner, Evan, and you guys can even if you don't have your coach, get a partner, watch some YouTube videos, watch my videos, watch other videos, get a partner, and you got to put in your own time. In your garage, get a grappling mat. If you don't have a grappling mat, you can do stand-up grappling stuff. You can do striking stuff on your feet. If you want to grapple on the ground, put on, wear some clothes, comfortable clothing. Go out and grapple on the grass. Find soft grass and grapple on the grass. You can grapple in the sand at the beach. I don't know if you have, depending on where you live, but you can grapple in these different locations as long as you're not, obviously like concrete's kind of rough on grappling, but you can find places to grapple, soft dirt, soft sand, or in the grass. You can't let COVID-19 hold you back. You're going to have to get a partner and get out there and try the stuff. Watch the videos, study the videos, create your own lesson plans. If your coach is not there, Evan, then you got to be your own coach for a little bit. You got to watch these YouTube videos and you got to study and then go to work. That's my best advice. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I love you guys all, but I've also been doing this now for an hour and 16 minutes, nonstop. So I'm going to have to go. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. Again, the channel's lost a little bit of traction lately, but we like I'm just letting you guys know what's going on. Like I have been getting a little drop in the view count. It could be because maybe I'm not putting out as much content as I did before. I still try to get you guys at least 4 videos a week that are brand new. And then in addition to that, we still drop the TMG clips. Anton's dropping the TMG clips on the weekends. So there's always something. But it's definitely dropped the view count. So it's not like, I'm sure you guys are the ones that are probably watching all the videos. So thank you guys so much. I do need to, I got to try to keep it up because TeachMeGrappling was actually bringing in ad revenue, like $1,500 a month, which it's helping me keep my gym open. So, with the ad revenue, dropping a little bit, it does make it hard because the gym is struggling, but the gym's not going to go under or anything. Like I'm going to do it because I'm making money on the stock market. But, I just want to say thank you guys. And I guess I'm also talking to myself. I need to get the views back up to where they were like a couple months back. A couple months ago, they were doing much better. And maybe it's because I was pumping out way more content, but that's something I got to do. I got to do it so that we can keep this thing rolling anyway. But I don't plan on stopping. I love you guys. I love what I do. I love helping you guys. I like reaching out to you guys. It's awesome to talk to you guys this late at night, way past midnight here on the West Coast, and get to help make you guys better at your grappling, at your martial arts training. So, all right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Really, I do. And I'll be back I'll be back next time with more great stuff. Thank you. Take it easy.